I congratulate Montenegro to have a monument here for the war crimes of Montenegro in the Croatian War. It was Montenegro part of the Serbian Empire of Yugoslavia, so it's of course not that I make today's Montenegro responsible for that crimes, but it's very good to apologize, because similar like Austria, Montenegro has a responsibility in association with that times. It's not possible to visit it fully, but it's still a military site, and I call to make it a monument memorial site for visitors to visit, not to have the military here, but to do it like Mauthausen in Austria. And of course I understand it's not a Holocaust which happened, but there were horrendous crimes from the side of the Montenegrins back then as vassals of Milosevic, and it's very important to be very clear here and to help the Montenegrins to overcome the past and build some strategic partnership with Croatia. It's very good, and Croatia is in many ways the role model for Montenegro, and it's now a NATO ally, and Croatia is already since now soon a decade into the European Union, and it's a great opportunity for Montenegro to follow the Croatian road model and to break with the Serbian past and the criminal activities of 30 years ago. Obviously, the case I can compare Montenegro very much with Austria here, because by association, obviously, Austria is also guilty for the war crimes of the Second World War, but of course it's not direct responsibility, because we were not a state then, and it was of course the people, many of them criminals and perpetrators in the World War II, and so it was also in the case of Montenegro. Now today this monument is still inside the military area, but I have shown you already how it is with Mauthausen, and it's very good if we can build a similar monument here in Morinj, where all the Croatians, all the Europeans, all the tourists, they come here, they learn about the crimes of Milosevic, and they understand the wars, and there can be a wonderful explanation center, a museum to understand all these crimes, and also then people can it's like a tourism magnet. That's also one of the effects of such a memorial centers. I've seen it in Mauthausen. You have now thousands of tourists on some days, but certainly Mauthausen has now absolutely magnetic effect on tourism in Upper Austria, in my hometown. As tragic as the context is, obviously I recommend this also for the development of this really still rather poorish place, and it will be very good. The present monument is not publicly visible, at least I didn't find it, and seems to be still in the military installation, and there's no need for such a military installation here. It can be easily converted in a Mauthausen style memorial center for the crimes of Milosevic, and I think that is the best way. Controversial everything is in Montenegro, I understand it. There was already a protest of some groups here, but that's of course the thing which I reject, because protesting against the past, you have to regret the past, repent it, work on it, confess the wrongs, and then of course active repention, then you can overcome the case. And it will be also for Serbia very important, because Serbia will have to overcome all its crimes, and that's absolutely necessary, and it will be before they can join the European Union. You will see it is a very distant prospect for them. I'm anyhow calling for them to be frozen, and not only for their Russian policy, but also for the lack of historic confrontation and coping with the criminal past. Montenegro, congratulations, this is a very good initiative to build this monument, and it's the beginning. That should be a longer term prospect, and it's very, very good. I'm happy that I made the effort to walk up here on my road to Herceg-Novi, and I want that we now develop much closer links between Austria and Montenegro, because also the similarities of the role of Montenegro inside this perpetrator union with Serbia and Montenegro and Austria. It was a similar Anschluss in 1918 which Montenegro had, like we had 20 years later, and now we can really somehow build a common role model, and we can see that Austrian process to cope with the past was also very difficult, but it was very beneficial. We have also not finished it, otherwise we would be in NATO already, but we still have very complicated and relations. But now it's good, we are on the good way, and I call for Austrian, Croatian and Montenegrin strategic partnership. By the way, this was Austrian territory. We don't want to have it back, but we want you to be in the EU together as equals with the Austrians, the Croatians, the Montenegrins. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye.